Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by my channel today. I would like to share my journal that I just finished today actually. About a week ago I spotted a tutorial on Nazy of AmityBloom's videos, and it was making just making like larger snippets using scraps and washi tape and glue. So I set out and created a large snippet, which is actually 3 of these. I'll show you in the end, and one continuous sheet, which I just wanted a big piece so I could cut it apart and use it in different places. But I just got this idea to use it in one journal as a cover. So I made this kind of a strange way. I've not seen it done like this, but I just experimented, had fun, just like I did with the snippets. So thank you, Nazy, for sharing that video. And it's an older video, but I just spotted it, and it was really enjoyable to watch. So anyway, hopefully some of you got in, or I'm sure a lot of you did, on her new washi release. And she's going to be releasing more. I'm not going to say which date because I can't remember right off the top of my head, but it's coming up soon. I want to say it's next week, but I'm not sure. Anyway, you need to get on Facebook and read about on AmityBloom's Facebook site that she tells when the release is, because I know a lot of you were disappointed in not getting any. I unfortunately was at an appointment with my husband and I couldn't participate, so when I got home I was a couple hours late, but I did manage to get a couple rolls, which I was thrilled about. But I really want to get the sewing ones because sewing ephemera and journal digital pages and all that, that's my absolute favorite subject. Anyway, let me get started here. This journal was supposed to be a little bit smaller, but you know what we all do, we kind of make them larger. We just can't help it when there's so many beautiful papers to work with. However, I'm going to pat myself on the back because the pages in here, a few months ago I got on an AI site and created several background pages in Haberdashery and pastel laces and fabrics and embroidered pieces. So that's what I used for my pages. I've been wanting to use them for a couple of months, so I finally did. Okay, so I couldn't bind this the way that I usually do because it's got this unusual second journal included. So I just ended up doing a couple of grommets and this little thingy, which I've never used before, as a clasp, which came in really handy. It is a little bit gator mouth, as you can see, but it does have a lot of stuff in it that can be removed. And the theme of it is, of course, sewing haberdashery, and it's a grandmother's journal that she created for her little granddaughter who's still an infant, and her name is Rose. And she got to thinking that Rose is so young that the grandmother is coming of, up in her age, and she wanted, she's always dreamed of teaching a granddaughter how to sew and do embroidery, and just, basically it's about sewing. And anyway, let's get into it. Oh, there's a ladybug in here, so if she lands, just excuse her. It's getting warmer out and they're coming out, or coming in, I should say. Okay, so I just tied this up here. And under the front cover, I just made a little window here with a little calling card. And that was Grandma when she was young. And then a couple nice large pieces of This is actually from a work basket. No, this one isn't. This is from a French sewing embroidered magazine. And this is just a large piece of paper for journaling. And then I've got a journaling card, and then of course little Rose or little grandma, and then just a fabric card, and that just slips in here. And then this is just removable. I just stuck that in. Oh, I should say, aside from like these, the background pages, those are mine. But aside from, goodness, aside from using those, I also use some items from ephemera, from Paperdefleur, double helix digital, Raindrop Lila, Chapter 1, and SweetPeaCuriosities. Now, I was finishing this up. I would have been done, but it's Marissa's fault because I spotted her time-touched textile digital kit a couple days ago, and I had to use it. You'll see why. And then yesterday or today, I don't know if it was yesterday or today, but she released a Haberdashery kit. Oh, so anyway, I haven't downloaded it yet, but, or I've downloaded it, but I haven't printed it all out yet, which I am going to do because I guess I'm going to make another Haberdashery journal because they're just such beautiful things. And if you see the time-touched textile fabric digitals, you're going to faint because it is filled with everything. Anyway, I have a lot of it in here. So let's get, has 2 signatures in the front, and in the back it has 1. So it's just a weird journal, but it was really fun. Now this is one of mine with the embroidery, and I just put a little piece of an vintage worn out tablecloth that had embroidery on it, and a piece of lace in this pocket with some journaling cards. Now I think this is I'm not sure, but I think it's my porch prints. So I do have a little here and there of, pieces that I had in my stash that I just wanted to use. And this is an antique piece of trim from France. And this little card, I wish I knew who it came from because I have a larger one in here, but it was so cute. I just had to put it in here. And this little snippet piece is one from SweetPeaCuriosities. She has just pages of tape measures and thimbles and pin. It just goes on and on. So I put a little vintage mother of pearl button here, and tucked behind this a few journaling cards and a piece of washi tape. Here, I'm just going to set it down. Hope you can still see it pretty well. And I just learned that you can touch the video, or the video that you're watching on your laptop, possibly on your phone too, and you can actually enlarge it, and you can, I know I'm slow, but I just found that out. So this is just, there's going to be a lot of little girls in here depicting teaching children about stitching and sewing so they can carry it through to their children and grandchildren. Just a few vintage buttons. And this little card here, I just added a piece of vintage lace. And this is a little card from SweetPeaCuriosity. It just hangs over. And another, well, all the pages, except for this one. This is actually from it says The Curtain Falls. It's from a play. It's just some old paper that I got from an estate sale, so I just put a couple pieces in here. And I put a piece of cross-stitched washi tape on this pattern paper. And here's a couple. They're just attached, just for decoration, from SweetPeaCuriosities. And she's got cards like this that you can put your own fabric in and your trims. And this is another one of the little tags, and this as well. And this is actually a Singer promotion. It's a fan. And the grandmother used this a lot when she was in her sewing room and it was just so hot. Or on the front porch, she would take a project. So she wanted to hand this down to her granddaughter as well. I just made this a little open here so it would fit nicely. And here's a little pocket. I don't know whose that is. Oh, I also used some PixiedustFiles. I also used some little vintage mother of pearl buttons on this little girl, which also you can use as a journaling card. I just printed a nice neutral color on it. And this is one of my tags from my AI project. I made some tags too. That's as far as I went, tags and background. And that's one of them. And this is just a piece of tracing paper that has a needlepoint design on it. And here is one of the tags from SweetPeaCuriosity. And I believe this is PixiedustFiles, I think. And it's just a bag, an envelope. And it just holds some sewing ephemera pictures. And I can't remember who those are from. But I just like the crinkly little needlepoint bag. And as far as this dangle, it's just button hooks. And this is one of the buttons that they would use the button hook for, with a little couple pieces of fabric. And this little photo comes out, and you can journal on the back. It's just a little girl behind this dotted Swiss fabric. And this is just mulberry paper that I printed on. And a piece of Indian fabric with a nice large piece of paper for writing, and some seam binding. And I think this is Shabby Art Boutique. I think she has a few of these little girl lace or thread keepers. I've got a couple more in here, I think. This pocket just holds a tiny little tracing paper envelope that you can put needles in, and then just a couple of journaling cards. And another pretty piece of vintage lace. And here's one of her measuring tapes, and it holds a couple of beautiful journaling cards. And this little embroidered piece just catches it, so it doesn't fall out of the journal. And this little girl, she just has a little applique and a piece of faux washi tape and a piece of lace at the bottom, and then a pretty journaling card. Just a piece of embossed paper. The keeper of soft things, just a little decoration. And in this piece of vintage lace pocket, it just has several, I believe there's 3 journaling cards of embroidered pieces behind here, and then a little journaling or not journaling card, a little card with some 4mm silk ribbon and a little piece of vintage pillowcase that could be used for slow stitching. And then this envelope, which I used as a pocket, and it has a little skein of cotton embroidery thread. So the grandmother was trying to incorporate things that she thought that her granddaughter could use in a stitching project. And under this lace, here's a blank card that the owner can put her own fabrics and trims on, and of course use it as a journaling card. I did use or leave a lot of space that could be for notes. Now this page I used that the lace paper or paper lace shelf liner, and I just layered it, and these are some of the cards that I created, like little pieces of stitch quilt. And here's some blue ones. Actually, that's upside down. And these are some of my favorites because they have little embroidered pieces in them. I thought those were cute. And then a little safety pin. And here's that large card, and it also has a French trim in it. Again, more space for journaling. I just put a piece of vintage school, like the elementary school sized paper. I had a few sheets of that that was stuck in a book from an estate sale. So I just added a little bit of rubber stamping. And a piece of crocheted lace to edge that page. And another one of my little cards. And an up-tuck. This is from the kit, the Time Touched kit. It's she did a collage. I think there's 4 or 5 sheets of collage in different shades. Like there's blue page and a green page and this pink page. This was so pretty. I just had to use it. Isn't that pretty with the stitching? That was so pretty. And I just used it as an up-tuck for some embroidered journaling cards. And this is just a postcard that I just added some embossed paper and a piece of very old lace, very pretty decorative lace applique. And this is a little thing that Rhonda from A Little Bit French makes. I love these little things. And I put a little piece of the mica in there and then just glued it onto one of the large paper clips. And it holds this little girl's little piece of that worn tablecloth. It was linen, and someone had, embroidered on it. Make her life into a work of art. Okay, so those are the 2 front signatures, and then this opens up or flips out, and in the back here I just have some journaling cards and a couple of pieces of, no, this isn't. This is just a paper for writing. This is a washi tape, a large piece of cross-stitch washi tape to use somewhere. And then a couple of my large tags that are just layered fabrics with lace. So in this one, each section, like this one, it ties off on its own, so it's not flopping around. And then this one ties off on its own as well. But before we get to this, I put in the very center, back of the book, I put a doily, and then I just pinned an applique to it, so it could be used in a slow stitch project as well. And then a couple of embroidered journaling cards. And I didn't mention who these are from because I can't remember, but I can look it up if anyone is interested. And I just used seam binding that I got from Etsy. But the lady that made this, she made it, it's like chalky. It's really, it doesn't come off on your hands, but it just feels old. So I just kept ordering, but she no longer makes it. So anyway, this last section has, here's some of my journaling cards. I've got to tell you, just playing with AI, that is nothing compared to what these digital designers do to make kits for us. They spend hours touching up and manipulating in whatever editing program. I couldn't even, there's no way I could ever do that. I would love to do it, but I can't. But this was fun, doing something on my own. Anyway, another little piece of vintage lace, a little sample here. And this journaling card, I think this card, oh, I shouldn't say because I'm not sure. I think it's from a friend, but anyway, I just put this little frame on it with the little girl and on a piece of old lace and another piece of that vintage tablecloth and a mother of pearl button, and just sewed around it for a journaling card, and tucked it in this piece of lace trim, which is part of the Time Touched Textile kit from SweetPeaCuriosities. This little bag, little glassine bag, has a little piece of Velcro that you open, and it just has journaling cards in it from SweetPeaCuriosities, from the Time Touched kit. And just look at how beautiful those little trims are. And of course, just journaling cards, but look how sweet. There's several of them in there, more than this. They're cute. Anyway, I just thought I would package them up in a glassine bag. Oh, and I just put a couple pieces of my washi that I printed out just to decorate it a little bit. Here's another piece that you can peel the backing off and put it wherever you wish. And this little corner, this little girl with her dolls, says sweetheart, and then it's a little piece of vintage trim, or not vintage, but French trim, and it just holds a couple journaling cards. I want to say that is pixie dust, but I could be wrong. Here's another card. It has all of the ribbons, scalloped lace, velvet ribbon, different bits and pieces that you would use in a slow stitch project or crazy quilting or what have you. But I tried to line up what she had put in here with what I had, embroidered trim, an applique. So that was kind of fun. It's just a journaling card as well. Yeah, I think these are sweet pixie dust. I think those were. But this is mainly for, and that looks like it's one of either SamPoole or Dodie, or I shouldn't say because I just don't know. But it's not a, it's kind of a recent kit. I mean, late last year, I believe. I don't know. I shouldn't even mention stuff like that because my mind goes blank. Now, this is as a little vintage doily or crocheted piece. And the grandmother put this little envelope here for her granddaughter to find one day. And it has a little butterfly applique, because even though she's just a baby, the grandmother takes her out to the garden, and Rose just giggles and laughs when the butterflies hover around and stop at each of the flowers. And this is a nice large piece of paper for journaling and a journal card. Piece of vintage lace, handmade lace. And another of my cards. And this is one of my cards I just turned into a tuck spot. And I showed you that. So anyway, this ties, and then this closes, and then this closes and ties. But what I wanted to show you was, this is the whole piece that I did. And there was a small piece left over, but it was so much fun. And it's just from scraps. Just scraps that I had, and some fussy cuts, and some laces. So anyway, that's how that came to be. And then the piece that was left over, I couldn't just let it sit there. I made a little companion. Let's put this right there. No, we'll leave it there. A little companion booklet that the grandmother gathered to accompany this for her little granddaughter Rose. And it just ties. Well, it does just tie. There we go. It's a little rough because, like I said, it was kind of chalky, so it's a little rougher. It ties, or it stays put really well. So I just had that little piece left over. The back piece is just this is actually a piece of SamPoole's patisserie kit, I believe. It's her little, yeah, whatever it is. So I just used that as the back because I did get some SweetPeaCuriosity, I can't think of the name of them. Not gingham, shoot. I can't think of the name of it. I know you're probably trying to tell me. Anyway, you open it up. I gotta move this. It's just gonna get in the way. You open it up, and under the first page, it is a hardcover. I just went ahead and made a mini journal. And the lace, I did put vintage laces in here, and this is, Grandma put all this stuff in here for to teach her granddaughter, so her granddaughter would have some supplies, you know, to work with. But they are vintage laces with vintage buttons, and you just can pull them out. So whoever gets this journal can actually use these in a slow stitch project. But this is not a vintage lace, but it is a pretty one. It always reminded me of a fence. And then this one. They all come out with a little thing of Velcro. These sequin pieces, sequin little samples, little pouches, I tried to do several pastels. They don't come out. They're actually on double stick tape, which was the first page I did before I thought of the little Velcros. So anyway, they're still, you can just, you know, take them, remove them, and if you want to use it. And on this page, I did add everything, like I said, is on Velcro except for that, you know, the sequins. And I've got the 4mm and the 7, this is the 11mm silk ribbon. And then I have coordinating beads, but these are peanut beads. They actually look like a little peanut. They have a little indentation in the center. So I did put in a couple of those packets in blue and pink. Oh, and these are from SweetPeaCuriosities too. These little lace or thread winding cards. I love that little pattern. So pretty. Probably should go this way. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's in there. Anyway, then I have it in green with the peanut beads as well. And then I have 7mm, 7mm, and then the 4mm. And then in this one I just put a packet of a blend, a mixture of pastel seed beads. So there's a lot of little goodies to work with in here. And here I put a lace pocket, and in the pocket I put, these are from the new kit. I did print out the one page, and the rest will be printed out today from SweetPeaCuriosities Haberdashery, brand new kit. So, and don't trip up the stairs getting to it like I did yesterday. The time-touched kit. I just saw it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to have it. And I went up to my laptop because I can't hardly see on my phone. These are just some little vintage mother of pearl buttons I just added for the heck of it in a cute little envelope. It just tucks down in the little lace pocket. And then these little goodies, I have some gelatin, quite a variety of gelatin. I don't know if you've heard of it or not. The French use them a lot. Gelatin sequins, they call them, but they're puffy. And then I've got a little mother of pearl bird and some little glass heart beads, and then a little butterfly bead. So she can play around with that. And in here I put some sewing related charms, some little metal charms, a little thimble, and a pattern marker. I don't know if anyone uses those anymore. They probably use like chalk, you run over, well, anyway, it's a, whatever it's called. A little pair of scissors and a safety pin. Not a real safety pin, but a charm. And then I added a little new spool of my favorite beading thread. I love this thread, and I had bought in a box of it when I was crazy quilting, and I had enough left over that I would just put a full one in there. And these are just little ribbon flowers, pre-made. I did not make these, but they're cute on slow stitch kits. And then the back page is just this little flip up, like just a little slow stitch project with a little embroidery on it, but it's a needle keep. So I put in like a needle for the silk ribbon embroidery, and then just that could be used as a beading needle, and then just a sewing needle. And then the back is just, I still can't think of the name of it. I don't know why, but anyway, that's it. That is my new project. So with the full-size journal comes that, and then just some extra ephemera to mess around with. Oh, it's upside down. Just extra, like my cards, and then a couple cards that I had printed off. I'm just going to include with it, so you can have lots of fun. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's kind of weird, but it was fun to do. Just kind of very weird, unique. Kind of reminds me of Nazy's stuff that because she's not afraid to use color and pattern, and she just puts stuff together, and it just, when it's finished, it's like gorgeous. I just love it. So anyway, that's it. And thanks for stopping by and watching, and have a great rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.